Hello, Peacock families. My name is Miss Shore, and I'm one of the Peacock teachers over at the Bee Center. Today, I'm going to start the beginning of our Positive Solution for Families training, which you'll be receiving a little bit of throughout the school year. So today, our Positive Solutions training begins with making connections. It's very important that we make connections with our children, and the best way to do that is to let them know how much you care about them. So our first slide shows us that every child needs someone who is crazy about them. So what does that mean? That means maybe a parent who is showing them that. Maybe it's other people in their lives too, other adults, family, friends, aunts, uncles, grandparents, just someone who really shows your child a lot of attention and love, and every child needs that. So we're going to talk about quality time with children. What are some benefits to quality time? What are some barriers? So think about some benefits to quality time with your children, and also think of what are some barriers. I'm sure that you can think of a lot of different things. So, for example, some benefits might include your child has increased self-esteem. They have that positive and secure relationship with a parent, both immediate and also long-term. You get to know your child better when you have that great relationship with them. The child is more responsive to you, and also you have a more pleasant household all around when you have a great relationship with your child. Your children will grow up and have good relationships with their own children. You help your child learn how to interact with others, and we give our children love when we spend that time with them and when we give them that attention. However, we all know there are barriers to being able to do all of that. Sometimes we just don't have the time. We are busy with work, or maybe school, or other kids, or other responsibilities, and so we sometimes just don't have that time. Maybe we're way too stressed as parents. Right now is a time we all hear about stress, stress in families, stress with the grown-ups in the families because of either job relations, financial concerns. This whole COVID thing causes a lot of stress within families. There may be a lot of sibling rivalry. Everybody's clamoring for your attention. Maybe there's an unsupportive partner in your house. If you have a history of an unsupportive relationship with your parents, then it's more likely that you might have one with your children too. If you have a child who presents a lot of challenging behavior, that is a barrier to a good quality relationship. And sometimes parents just don't know how to build those good relationships, how to play with their children. As adults, it's often hard for us to think about playing anymore, and so sometimes just building that relationship through play is the best thing to do. So it's important to remember that it doesn't take a lot of money to build those relationships. Some of the things you could do are reading a book together, taking a walk together, singing favorite songs together, having dinner together, talking and singing in the car, giving hugs and high fives, winks and thumbs ups, saying I love you to your child. Just asking them about their day is important to them. And letting your child be a special helper with things around the house. And then once again, do that playing together. So this slide shows some tips for encouraging your child, and they're very powerful parenting practices. So first tip, get your child's attention. I know that can be difficult sometimes, but getting your child's attention will help with all of the other tips. You want to be very specific when you talk to a child, telling them what you want them to do or what you want to change. You want to keep it simple. You want to be positive. You want to be encouraging. And you want to be enthusiastic about your encouragement. So you don't want to be using a dull, monotone voice, but use that encouragement in your voice. You can double the impact with some physical warmth, so a pat on the back, a high five, a hug. And when you tell them good job, make sure you're specific about what they're doing a good job about. And then encourage your child not only when you're alone with your child, but in front of others. That really makes them feel good, and it helps them know that you're proud of them. Okay, now Mr. Lonnie and I will do some role playing together to show you some of those tips and techniques for saying more to your child to help them pay attention. In this scene, Mom is in the kitchen doing dishes, and her daughter is playing quietly with her doll. I like how you're playing quietly. So as you can see, when we acted out the scene, that Mom, while she was trying to give her daughter a compliment, she really did not get her daughter's attention, so her daughter did not pay any attention to her, nor did she elaborate on what she thought her daughter was doing well, or give her any feedback about what that meant to her, how that made Mom feel, how she did such a good job not disturbing Mom while she was busy. So in this scene, Dad and son are doing dishes together. Thanks for doing such a good job with the dishes and not rushing through like you usually do. Dad says, thank you, and tells him specifically what he's thanking him for, but then adds a negative toward the end by saying the child's not rushing through it like he usually does. So first of all, it makes the child happy because the dad is praising him, but then the child kind of looks down and is no longer happy because Dad added that negative toward the end. We want to remember to keep things positive and encouraging. Our next slide is going to give us some ways to encourage our child. So you can say, thank you for, and be very specific with what you're talking about. You can say, it's so much fun to play with you. You are so good at sharing your toys. So once again, you're very specific about what you like them doing. You were being such a great helper when you brought the groceries inside for me. Let them know specifically how they are helping you. And then, thank you for using your inside voice when your sister was sleeping. So encourage habits that are good for them, not only now as children, but also when they're adults. Wow, you did such a great job picking up your toys tonight. You put everything in the box. A little more specific than the generic, you just picked up your toys. Thank you. So putting them in the box is that specific piece to it. We'd like to thank you for viewing this video and for learning about positive solutions for families. This is just the first step. There'll be more to come. Thank you.